We
Should I
are.
put a timer on? Let's see, we're at 5:24, so roughly 45 minutes, I think.
Yeah. All right. So this is recording.
Oops.
It'll say when frames are dropping and all that stuff. But we can go ahead and get started whenever.
Okay. I was gonna set a stopwatch.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
We can always trim out.
Okay, cool.
Trim the fat.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to go by Cap 1, right? And then do you want to go by Griffin? Okay. Hey everybody, it is Anime Bang, episode 2! Can you believe it? Oh, I didn't do it this time.
That's all right.
Dang it, I messed it up!
Take two.
Tell you what,
Okay,
next
let's do
time I'll
it.
miss it.
No.
No,
We
we'll
have
do
to
it
do it
again.
again.
Okay.
Okay, hey everybody, it's Anime Bang!
Bet.
Okay, that's the best we're
Perfect.
gonna get
Yeah,
here.
that was good.
Anyways, okay, so I'm Jackie Jing.
Passable.
We got Cap 1 in the house and Griffin Lane, and this is our second episode.
I know, very exciting.
And we had a lot of fun in our last one. So during our last episode, we just kind of did a review of the winter season for 2019, and this time we were like, okay, we want you guys to get to know us a little bit better, and wanted to tell you about how we got into anime and a little bit about our anime background, I guess you could say. So who wants to go first? Rock, paper, scissors.
Right.
Ready?
Oh, really? Let's rock, paper, scissors.
All right.
Right, Amy? All right.
You were late on that.
What was it, a rock, paper,
One, two,
scissors,
shoot.
1, 2, shoot.
Oh, it's
Okay.
1, 2, shoot.
Okay.
now.
Okay, all right.
But there was a tie, so let's try it again.
Alrighty. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
You win.
All right,
Okay, you go
I'll take
first.
that.
All right.
Okay.
This is
Oh, so
Griffin
exciting.
Lane's
Yes, this is
storied
me. Wow.
history with anime. How
Yes.
did it all begin?
Man, it was a dark and stormy night, I
Oh
can tell
my
you that for
God.
sure. No, it was, pretty simple. I think, honestly, my start in anime was very similar to a lot of people my age in America, is that I started with Toonami.
Mhm.
You know, when I was very, very young, I remember, like, going over to my grandma's house at, like, you know, it was during the point in time when it was playing, like, during the afternoon. It had, like, the really shitty time slot. And so it was, like, Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball, Thundercats and stuff. So it was, like, I really got started there.
Mhm.
And then I remember, you know, years later I was watching Naruto and Bleach and all the stuff on sort of the later night Toonami. And I remember a distinct moment where Naruto had ended at a cliffhanger, and I was like, well, this is awful, and I know it's all available in Japanese, so I'm just gonna go stream it online. And that was really the beginning of the end for me. It was just all, you know, not necessarily downhill from there, but you just fall real deep into that hole. And so I pretty much finished Naruto at that point, got onto a million others, and that's sort of how it all began for me. And then I remember, like, you know, anime, at least when I was in high school, was, like, not a very cool thing. So, like, I never really talked about it. Like, I had my friends who also watched it. We all wore Akatsuki rings from Naruto Shippuden. Yeah, we were, like, way into
I had a
it.
headband.
A head? What's
Yeah,
the ninja ones?
Kokono Village.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I can't believe that. And I think I had a biker glove, too.
One of the fingerless ones?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. Well, I mean, I
okay.
guess it wasn't a biker glove. It was, like, considered a ninja glove. I guess I was like, I don't even know, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Naruto was kind of like your
For
gateway
sure.
anime,
Yeah, I
you'd
would say
say?
that's definitely the one that, like, really dove me way into it.
I think a lot of people get their start
Yeah.
with Toonami, too. But, okay,
Yeah.
what was it for you?
For me, I'm a little bit older, so I started way back in the 90s.
Oh, gosh, that was a
so-
long
I
time
know.
ago, folks.
Right, so I was a
You're
nerd
not
from the
that old.
get-go, but, like,
Yeah.
I fell into anime without realizing I liked anime. So on KQED, which was the PBS station in the Bay Area, they showed Evangelion in, like, 1993
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
that's interesting.
with a dub, and
Yeah.
I watched that, didn't really get it, but
It's
they
a hell of
showed
an anime to get started with.
Yeah, right?
But they showed some other stuff, and like in the syndication in the Bay Area, they had original Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, and I watched that stuff. Didn't really know what it was, just knew it was from Japan, knew I liked it, but didn't actually know what anime was until like the mid '90s when PlayStation and Saturn came out. You started seeing more and more Japanese stuff. I watched pretty much most animes that came on American TV, either in syndication or on Toonami and whatnot. But then in like the early 2000s, they had Gundam Seed on Toonami, which was not a good show, but I liked it back then. And they lost the license for Toonami. They didn't show the ending of the show, so I got frustrated,
Similar.
went
yeah.
online,
Yeah.
and just started watching like fan subs and all that, and fell into that whole deep world. Well, this is before YouTube, by the way. YouTube
Yeah.
didn't exist yet.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
like
the sketchy sites
we're
to
kind of
watch
the
it.
same age, yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember this was before you could. I mean, YouTube was just such a now you can like basically get a preview of anything on
Get a full
YouTube.
movie
Yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever.
seriously.
Yeah, totally.
But back then, by the way, I used to use YouTube to watch like Final Fantasy fan
Oh,
movies.
really?
Like people would like cut up the
Yeah,
games and put like techno music, and I would like absolutely love it. But that's how I used to use YouTube back in the day. That was such a tangent there. But how did I get into anime? So, I'm half Chinese. And my mom brought us over to Hong Kong when we were really little, my brother and I, and they had Voltron on TV there. You know what I mean? So I was like, we watched Voltron, and my brother and I were just like, this is awesome. You know what I mean? We like absolutely fell in love with Voltron. And then I just honestly like kind of always grew up with some like anime gear, I guess you could say, because I remember when I was in, I think, second grade or even younger than that, I had a Sailor Moon shirt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my brother had Dragon Ball stuff. And it was basically, we grew up in Colorado, and my mom would go to like the Chinatown of Colorado, which is like literally maybe 5 blocks, if even that, you know what I mean? And they would have anime stuff there, you know?
Cool.
So it became like this family ritual or tradition or routine, I guess you could say, that like once a month we would go to the store. It's called Chuang On. It's still around actually, but I went there recently and they don't have any anime stuff anymore, which is like such a bummer. But back in the day, my brother and I would go there, and they had like Sailor Moon stationery and plushie toys and Barbies, and the same thing for Dragon Ball too, like, you know what I mean, and notepads and erasers, and my brother and I, like, that was our toy store. Like, that was what we knew as toys, you know what I mean? So I was heavily Sailor Moon, he was heavily Dragon Ball, and then, like, you know, back then we were like, oh, well, he was like, Sailor Moon sucks, and I was like, yeah, well, Dragon Ball sucks, and then like secretly we would like both love each other's stuff, like, you know. So we grew up with it, but didn't really know what it was, like, you know what I mean? Like, we just were like, oh, these are like the cartoon like toys and like stationery that we like, and then it came out in Toonami. So can you imagine? I was like, it came on and I was like, oh, these are like the toys I've been playing with, and like the girls on my shirt and all this stuff. And then my brother and I just were like, we were 100% in, like, you know what I mean? It was like, it was already like we were kind of familiar with it, and we knew Voltron, and I think like sometimes our relatives would send us some other stuff, you know what I mean? But like, we knew, because Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball were so popular during our youth, like we knew right away, because like our relatives from Asia were like, yo, these are like the two big ones. So I think like I was similar to you, where Toonami was kind of like the gateway, but my brother was like, he dove into anime, you know what I mean? So it was like, as soon as like we started to get into high school, we were watching Cowboy Bebop, Outlaw Star, Trigun, Neon Genesis Evangelion, Gungrave, like, you know what I mean? Like, we were in, you know what I mean? And we absolutely loved it. So like, I think the anime though, that I was like, so I love Sailor Moon, and I was like, I love anime, but like what really made me be like, okay, I love anime, and like this really needs to be a part of my life for like all time, would have to be Cowboy Bebop. And I have a tattoo on my side, and you guys already know like how near and dear that one is to my heart. But I think like that was the one that where I was like, okay, I want this to be like a part of my life. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna stay engaged in it. So yeah. So like, what would you say was the one for you that was like, okay, like I love anime, I'm in for anime? Because like Naruto was like your gateway, but like what like made you be like, okay, I'm in for the long run?
You know, that's a great question. I mean, Naruto was like the gateway, but I think it was also the one where I was like,
it's a good one. I mean, it's got a lot of filler. It's got its faults, people. Like, we can't deny that. But it's a great one too.
Even some of the filler stuff, like I just love the concept of like, here are these people, like everyone's got their own unique power that they're born with, and like it's what makes them special. And like, he's got some jutsu, he's got another one, and like how do they, you know, interact?
Hold on, that's so fun. Best fight. Like, one of my favorite fights of all time is Gaara versus Rock Lee. Like,
so good.
That like, if that's not in your top 10, like, you don't have a heart, man. Like, that was
when
like,
he removes the weights and drops them down.
Yes. And then he's literally like, he's lost consciousness, but his like force, his like chi is just like he's still fighting, even though his eyes are like gone. Sorry,
Right.
okay,
Badass as
I
well.
digress
Yeah,
again.
and there
Okay.
were so many good moments like that. Naruto
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
And just great characters like Shikamaru, I loved.
Yeah.
Choji,
Yeah.
oh my
Yeah.
gosh, like it's like there's so many things about that anime that I understand why people hate it, but like the characters are so epic. That's one that I never really finished, and
Yeah.
like I'm too scared to go back.
Oh, there's a lot.
Yeah, that's why I'm
There's
too
a lot.
scared to go back. I already know his.
Well,
Dragon
it's gotta be
Ball.
Dragon Ball.
Yeah, come on.
I mean, like, yeah. Well, yes and no, because
This guy's our resident Dragon Ball expert. Like, no, for real. Like, I write articles at IGN, and I'm like, okay, I gotta talk to Aaron.
Yeah, consult
like,
with her,
consult. Like, there's a few people I consult, and he's like
Mhm.
one of my major consultants to make sure I get it right, because we all know Dragon Ball fans.
yeah,
You get something
Well,
wrong, and
yeah, for sure.
yeah, you
Yeah.
get something wrong, they're not happy.
yeah.
with you,
Dragon
so.
Ball, it's weird because it is the entry point, but also not the thing that took me from like casual anime fan
Yeah.
to like,
Mhm.
oh shit, I'm downloading fan subs. I'm writing in these forums about which
Yeah.
fan sub
Yeah.
group I like better than the other.
Yeah.
But
So what was it then?
I want to say Bleach somehow.
Bleach.
Bleach was
Sure.
solid.
Another classic.
Gosh, we're all on the same
I love
page.
it.
I'm sorry, Naruto, that him
But-
saying Bleach. Yeah.
But Bleach-
One Piece, like let's throw them all in there.
I think Bleach because like
One Piece.
I started watching
Yeah.
Bleach when it first came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like everybody who like talked about Dragon Ball and all the other shonen animators were like,
Yeah.
you should watch this show, it's really good. Started watching, it's like, oh, this is weird. Oh, this is kind of good. Oh, this
Yeah.
is weird. This is good.
It's fun. Yeah,
But
that's
yeah.
fun.
But Dragon Ball, yeah, that's probably more accurate because I remember watching that in the so they had it in Spanish. They had the Buu Saga in Spanish on like not Univision, some Spanish station in the Bay Area before like it came on Toonami.
Mhm.
So I knew about the whole Buu Saga before I even saw like the Cell
Frieza
Saga.
or
Yeah.
Cell? Oh my
Yeah.
gosh,
That's
wow.
too funny.
Which I don't know if I'd be as big of a Dragon Ball fan if I started with the Buu saga.
Well,
I'm sorry, Frieza's like hands down my favorite villain.
I do
I
like
mean,
Frieza.
like the Frieza saga is insane, and the
Mhm.
Ginyu Force, like
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm sorry, like you can't touch that.
Yeah.
Did I say Ginyu? Jinyu. I said it wrong. Huh?
No, it's Ginyu.
I think it's the
I did. Oh my god, I said it right. Okay, I was like, I'm so paranoid. I don't want to make anybody
I think you
mad.
did. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like
Big Ginyu fan.
Frieza, definitely 100%. I'm sorry, I'm like the worst. I'm like
You're a
going
big
out on all
Zarbon
these
gal
tangents.
too, right?
I'm a huge Zarbon girl. I cosplayed as Zarbon, and
Yeah.
he's beautiful and ugly, and just like, you know what's so funny? Our like boss, I was like, I'm gonna be Zarbon for Halloween, and he was like, that's fitting.
Yeah.
I was like, that's an insult because he's kind of like
Yeah.
the vainest,
Right.
and like he's totally Frieza's
Yeah.
like kiss ass, and like
Mhm.
you know he'll do like anything to survive. But I was like, he's pretty. So
Yeah.
no, I do love Zarbon though. Okay, so Bleach, surprisingly though.
Yeah, because it's the one show that like I spent time and effort trying to download rather than it just being available to me.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's what I think
Started
put me
out.
over the head.
That makes sense.
Naruto.
And it wasn't
Yeah.
in the U.S. yet. Like it wasn't. Well, I mean, it's translated through fan subs, but
Yeah.
Right.
there was no manga to buy. There was no show on Toonami or any other
Yes.
channel.
No, those were the two that I like had to seek out.
Yeah. Oh,
Like
that's
I had a
interesting.
BitTorrent and I
Right.
had to.
Wow.
I mean, I did it. I did it
very legally.
the kosher way.
Yeah.
No.
Everything was fine.
Yeah, I was like, no,
Okay.
no. Okay, we're gonna get ourselves
Yeah.
in trouble.
No.
Never mind, we didn't say that. Okay.
People pirated.
We yeah. I was like, no, that didn't happen.
It was the 90s.
It's really-
They'll do
yeah.
what we could.
Yeah, I mean, but that is actually a really like interesting point to go off of because now anime is so accessible. Like it was not accessible when we were younger.
No,
You know
not
what I
at
mean?
all.
Like I had a Sailor Moon VHS, and I swear to God, my mom paid $25
Yeah.
for it, and that was like in the 90s.
Mhm.
Like you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like she was like,
Yeah, that's
really,
true.
you want this? And it was like the finale of season 1. That was like.
Yeah.
This is everything. Queen Beryl is like gonna fight the Sailor Scouts, and my mom was like,
Alright.
"Okay, you're just annoying me so much. I'll pay $25 for this." But it's like
Yeah.
back then, if we wanted to, like now,
It's
Crunchyroll.
even on Netflix. Like,
Yeah.
it's-
Yeah.
it's so
Exactly.
easy to find
Yeah,
them.
Yeah.
totally.
It's kind of funny. Crunchyroll came out of like a fan subgroup.
That
Really?
is
Oh, yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
I mean, it had to start somewhere, right?
Yeah,
I'm
so-
talking about Crunchyroll though, you guys. Do you
Oh, yeah.
guys want to?
Let's
So
get to
there
that.
was the Crunchyroll Awards recently,
Mhm.
and I thought we could go down the list here.
Yep.
I'm also trying to check on time, and I'm not good at multitasking, so
Yeah.
just screwed that
So
up.
it's the Anime Awards. I think this is their 4th or 5th year doing
Okay,
it.
we're good.
But yeah, it's a big show. Like like we all work at IGN.
Yeah.
One of our coworkers actually is one of the
Announcers,
judges,
yeah.
judges,
So-
yeah.
Oh, she would judge?
Yeah, she was judge too.
Oh,
Yeah.
shoot. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, Miranda knows her stuff.
She does.
Yeah.
Seriously, I mean, Miranda knows her stuff. Like, I'm always, like, bouncing ideas off of her. I don't want to go off on another segue. Do you guys mind?
No, let's go.
Started
Very
watching
good.
Kaguya-sama, Love is
Yes,
War.
so funny, right?
Have you started
I
watching
haven't
it?
watched
Oh my
Yes.
gosh. I mean, like,
It's worth it.
okay, so I'll be honest. Miranda has suggested to me, and I was just like, this is not my cup of tea at
Yeah.
all. I mean, like, it was like a romantic comedy. I was like, and she loves like slice of life
Yeah.
and kind of like more of those like I would call them indie anime. Like, you know what I
Okay.
mean? They're a little bit more
But
like
it's not about guys yelling and screaming and punching each
yes,
other. It's
yeah,
about
yeah.
feeling
which is what I think,
different things.
especially he and I are all about.
Yeah.
Like, we're like action, adventure. I kind of like
I'm
heavy
both.
stuff. You're what?
I'm action, but also I like the weirdest crap.
Do you? Okay, I was gonna say maybe he just vibes with me on a lot of the action stuff. Like he'll talk to you about the action one, but like I'm literally like shonen 100.
Yeah.
I think like it's like I love mecha. I love like crazy fighting. I love war strategy. Like I'm just like a boy. Like I just don't like any of the like girly stuff. You know.
Yeah.
So this was like when she told me romantic comedy, I was like cringing, but I was
Yeah.
like, okay, like I want to be nice and I'm gonna check it out because she told me to check it out. But then I was like, it's war strategy.
Yeah.
It's just
Essentially, right.
a war
is
strategy
war, that's what
anime.
they
Yeah,
say.
so
Yeah.
it's like, you know, there's this boy and this girl, Shinomiya.
Yeah, is the boy.
No, Shinomiya is the girl,
I
right?
think it's Kaguya who's the girl.
No, but her last name's Shinomiya. Kaguya
Maybe.
Shinomiya and then
Yeah.
Yuruki something.
Oh, all right.
Okay,
Something like
anyways, yeah. I'm like, I'm really not a specialist either. I don't know. I think there's a girl and there's a guy.
Mhm.
And one is the president of the student council,
Mhm.
and then the girl is the vice president. And then there's a secretary, and her name is Chica, and she's got pink hair, and she's like
Hysterical.
absolutely adorable
Love
and
that lady.
funny. Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's really interesting because like the guy and the girl like don't want to confess their love
Mhm.
because you're a loser if you confess
Yeah.
love.
Yeah.
Like you know what I
Perceived
mean?
as a sign of weakness.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So like they're both trying to trick each other into
Mhm.
like confessing love first because they know that they
Yeah.
like each other,
Yeah.
but like they don't want to be the person to admit it. But like they will like it like I'll get tense, like
Yeah.
I'll get anxiety because
It's so
he'll be
funny.
like, oh my gosh, Kaguya asked me this, and like how do I react? I gotta do this or I gotta do this. I'm running out of time, and then I'm like, make a decision.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? Like I get like caught up in it. It like
Yeah.
it's like watching a battle play out. Like you know what I mean? But it's like it's really funny. And then they also go over the top. So like.
Mhm.
You know, like Chica will be talking to Yuruki, and Kaguya will be like, Chica is flirting with him, and like it's like, and like all these like you know
The reaction
flashing
to
behind
that's
her.
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's like very like. They're making fun of war strategy.
Yeah.
They're making fun of like action adventure animes. Like you know what I mean? Like they're taking it like they're basically just like it's an action adventure war strategy, but just with like love, without like the fight scenes. It's just
Yeah.
like all of the build up
Mhm.
and like all of the like peacocking where like there's the
Yeah.
faces and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So it's like it's actually really entertaining. So you need to check it out.
I'd recommend it as
Yeah.
well.
So that was my tangent again, per usual. But okay, we're gonna talk about the Crunchyroll Anime Awards, and I just thought we would go down each of the different categories, and then we can just kind of like be like, yeah, we
Yeah,
agree or we
yeah,
don't agree.
yeah.
So
I love it.
okay, so nominees for best fight scene.
Mhm.
So the winner was All for One versus All Might, My Hero Academia
Sure.
season 3.
Mhm.
So some of the big ones on here was Jiren versus Goku, Dragon Ball Super, Yami versus Light, Black Clover,
Yeah.
and Satan versus Devilman, Devilman Crybaby, Naruto and Sasuke versus Momoshiki, and then Hina versus Anzu from Hina Matsuri, which I've never seen.
I haven't seen that.
I haven't
haven't
seen
seen
Hina
it.
Matsuri. The other ones I'm all familiar with. And I mean, All for One versus All Might was like
was a pretty great fight.
awesome
Yeah.
fight. I mean, like honestly, the last like few episodes of season 3 were all just like
Pretty amazing.
super
Oh,
yeah.
They were-
compelling.
Yeah.
No, for sure. So, what do you guys think? Do you agree with that, or is there some of these other ones that reach out to you more?
Of the ones that I've seen, being the one from Devilman Crybaby, the one from Black Clover, I've actually seen the majority of these. I would say probably All for One versus All Might was my favorite, if not specifically for the action within, just for the lead up of like knowing about All for One, not really understanding the full amount of his power and seeing that in action. I thought was super sweet.
Yeah.
I think it's just like All Might is such a giant character, like, you know what I mean? And then we've, like you said, there's just been all this build up to All for One, and like to finally just see them like actually face off, like it was just such a build up, and it delivered on it, like, you know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, I would be okay with that.
Yeah, I think the build up is what made it the best one for me. Like some of the other ones, like the Naruto Sasuke one, that's cheating. Like they had a movie. Like this is the fight from the movie, so kind of extended a little bit.
Oh, boo.
Like that one, even if it was the best looking one, I would not vote for it just for the technicality.
What would you pick for runner up though? I mean, okay, so for me it would be Satan versus Devilman. Like Devilman Crybaby, I thought was
nuts.
An amazing anime. Like seriously, like I absolutely love that anime. And at the end of that, like no spoilers here, right? But at the end of that, I literally like sat looking at my laptop with my jaw dropped for like, it had to have been 30 seconds. I was like I couldn't even comprehend all that had went down. Like, you know what I mean? It was just like so jarring to me. So for me, like, I mean, All for One versus All Might was really good, but Satan versus Devilman would be a very, very close second for me. What about for you guys?
I'd agree. I'd put that.
You put that one?
Yeah. I mean, just the sheer like madness of that final fight, like when all the other demons are jumping in and they're like, use me, like, you know, like whatever, like we'll help you out.
So much sacrifice.
I know, so much sacrifice.
So much philosophy
in the way that it did.
Right?
It's like
there was just so much philosophy in that one. Like it was just like, I mean, it was just it was on the level of Mind Beep, like that Neon Genesis Evangelion is. You know what I mean? Like I was just like, and heart wrenching, and like, you know what I mean? Oh my god. Okay. Anyways, we need to designate an episode to like analyze Devilman Crybaby.
I agree.
Would you put that as runner up too?
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
Like the other one's Jiren vs. Goku.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to Best Protagonist. And the winner was Rimuru Tempest from That Time I Got Reincarnated as Slime, which have you seen? No?
I've seen a few episodes.
I have not seen. You have?
I have seen it, yeah.
Okay, so the other contenders were Ritsuko from Agretsuko, which I'm I can't believe she lost. I mean, like, I'll be honest.
It's just a sweetheart.
And then there's Yumiko from Kakaguri. Oh, Kakaguri
was so good.
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
season 2 coming soon.
I know. I'm like, okay.
It's already done in Japan, but in U.S.
Yeah.
This month, actually.
Making their good sweet time is syndicated.
Yeah. Joe from Megalobox, which
Also
I did really love. Joe. Violet Evergarden.
From
Violet Evergarden. Yeah.
Whatever.
There's something wrong with me. Like I cannot get into that anime.
Yeah.
Miranda loves that anime, so don't listen to me. I mean, she really knows her stuff, and it just like never resonated with me.
Violet Evergarden is a beautiful indie movie.
And that is her style. That's 100%.
Like that is not
Miranda's style.
There is action in that show. That show is not about action.
Yeah.
But it is the prettiest show you could ever see.
Yeah, and then, like I was 5 episodes in when I gave up on it, and maybe I need to revisit and just force myself through it. But like there was definitely heavy elements to it. It was too slow for me. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm going off again. And then Sakuda from Rascal Does Not Dream of a Bunny Girl Senpai, which I haven't seen.
I've watched a couple episodes. I actually really like the show, but I haven't gotten that deep in yet. But I actually do like that character. He is. He reminds me of what's his name? The main guy from Haruhi Suzumiya.
Sure.
Kion. He reminds me of that character a little bit.
Okay, so who would you guys have picked for runner-up?
You know, honestly, having seen That Time I Got Reincarnated as Slime, I would not give it to Rimuru Tempest.
Really? Who would you have given it to?
For sure. What's her name? Yumiko. Jumama Yumiko, for sure. From Kakaguri.
She's crazy.
I know, and maybe I just love that.
No. I get it. Yeah. Are you okay with? Or you haven't seen Slime, so who
I've
would you
always
pick?
seen part of Slime, but for Slime, I don't. He didn't. Probably the Bunny Girl Senpai guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, now I gotta check out that anime. I'm like, wish I had a pen. I'd circle that.
Like he's not as loud as some of the other characters, but I like I like that guy.
Yeah. Honestly, it was the title of the anime that made me not want to watch it. I was like, Rascal.
That it should be an episode. That should be an
Senpai.
episode on its own. Terribly named anime.
Yes. These inconvenient circumstances bring me to my little sister's house, but I'm with my best friend forever.
Yeah.
Like,
let's figure something out here, guys.
Yeah, that title's really creepy.
Show's
actually.
definitely not a. There is a girl in a bunny costume, but it is not an ecchi show at all.
Okay, well, we'll check it out despite the weird name.
Yeah.
I think since I haven't seen Slime, I would have probably gone with Ritsuko.
Sure.
Yeah.
But Yumiko would have definitely been my runner-up.
Yeah.
Like, whew.
She's got such a personality that I find
But
it
she
so
has
unique.
she has such like no personality either.
Well,
Like she's
it's
so
interesting. Yeah,
mysterious.
yeah.
Like you know what I mean? Like it's like and she's crazy.
I know.
She's crazy and she's mysterious.
She's-
like every guy loves her.
I know,
pretty
maybe
much,
that's just my thing.
She's
man.
not the
It's like
protagonist, but
mysterious.
I would take Finico
Finico?
if she was an option.
Interesting.
Okay. All right, so let's get to antagonists now. All for one.
Sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
And you know what, like I can let me go down the list and then we can talk about that. So the other ones were Rio from Devilman Crybaby. Really good one.
Yeah.
Akane from SSS Gridman, haven't seen. All for one. Yuri from Megalobox, which didn't he kind of end up being like,
Kind of a nice guy. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think he was that bad all along.
like why would he even be on this
Yeah.
list? And then Tokushiro from Golden Kamui. I'm so bad at
Yeah.
pronunciations.
Yeah,
Kamui, help me. And then Momonga. Or did I already say that? Momonga.
Yeah, Overlord.
So, for me, I mean, I would pick All for One.
Sure.
I mean, like, I just think, like, again, there's, like, this, we are very attracted to things that are just, like, mysterious, right? And he just has that mystery, and
Yeah.
then he has, like, the build-up, like, everybody talks about, like, how evil he is, you know what I mean? And then just, like, his interactions with All Might were just, like,
Oh, yeah,
cringy.
right?
Yeah, like, you were
Oh,
just, like,
Oh yeah.
I
He's
don't
a
like
tr-
this.
Yeah.
He's a true villain, not
Yes.
like most villains are like nuanced. They're like, oh, maybe there's a try to get him. Like, oh
Right.
no.
Like, he's just
He's
so
like,
bad.
oh no, oh you think I'm evil? Let
Yeah.
me tell you something more evil I'm doing right now. Oh, let me tell you something even more evil than that.
And I love it.
Like every
Yeah.
scene he does is like, oh yeah, All Might, let me stick another knife in your back.
Yeah.
Oh, you think you won? Okay, here's another knife in
Yeah.
that back.
Oh my god, I want to like rewatch
I
it,
know.
right? Like I'm like, so like, for me, I think we can all agree he deserves it
Sure.
out of this
Yeah.
group. Who would your runner-ups be?
I don't know. Like none of these other villains were like, oh man, that guy's really bad. Probably
He's a bad
Rio.
guy. Yeah,
I'd say
Rio
Rio.
too. Even though, like, I think for the most part he had pretty decent intentions.
What?
You don't think? I mean,
Rio!
I thought he like really cared for him. You know,
He cared
to an
about
extent.
Akira,
Yeah.
but like he did not like he was blew up the world.
Well, I mean, was that his fault? That's a little bit of a
Spoiler.
spoiler.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. Okay, I mean, shit.
It's not gonna change anything.
Okay, yeah, I was like, sorry.
It's been out for almost half a year
Yeah.
now. Yeah, it's
True.
been a while.
And I mean, it's based off of one that was like ancient as well.
Yeah, like,
I know, but I still feel bad. Anyways, and
Yeah.
also that's no, you know what? It was a spoiler already because they said that he was an antagonist.
Yeah, true.
Because that wasn't revealed till later. So we're
Right.
gonna blame Crunchyroll.
Yeah, that's
They
fair.
spoiled
That's
it.
fair enough.
Okay, next category. Just kidding. Okay.
Moving right along.
Okay, so nominees for best animation: Violet Evergarden.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I mean, like.
you really
Yeah, it
can't
should
deny
be.
that one.
So Violet Evergarden won. The other contenders, actually, Devilman Crybaby had
Which was
exceptional,
also amazing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
exceptional animation. Megalobox was good, but I didn't think it was great.
I
Mm,
thought it was pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't compare it to Violet Evergarden.
No, like it was good, but I wasn't like I was like, oh, this is beautiful. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I was Violet Evergarden. I was like, what is happening
Yeah.
here? Like visually, this is off the chain. A Place Further Than the Universe, Bloom Into You, and then My Hero Academia. Which My Hero Academia is cute, but it's
yeah.
Yeah,
like Violet Evergarden. You watch and you're just like.
astounded
Yeah.
by the quality.
I
Yeah.
watched that show. I was in Japan when that show's first season was airing. I watched an entire episode in Japanese, no subtitles. I didn't know what's going on, but I couldn't stop watching because of how beautiful the show was. Like,
Yeah, you're just like.
Kyoto Animation just makes beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful shows that I just can't
Yeah,
stop watching.
that's one of Miranda's favorite studios.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's like a huge fan of
Yeah,
them.
I
So
can see
okay,
why.
so that's like not even worth discussing. So
No.
there you go. Best character design. Who do you guys think won? Do you
Can we
know?
read the nominees?
Okay.
Yeah.
Violet Evergarden,
Okay.
Devilman Crybaby, Zombieland Saga, Megalobox, Agretzko, or JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Golden
Oh,
Egg.
it's gotta be JoJo. It's gotta be.
Yes, it was JoJo's. Yeah.
Yeah, Rocky just makes the best characters.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, but
crazy.
that's some good competition there.
Yeah. Oh, it
like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. So
Isn't
that's
funny though how we were both listening to all of them and was like, okay, yeah, that could definitely win. That could.
No,
JoJo
I mean
was
that's
hands
like a
down.
tough category actually.
Like JoJo's that is what JoJo
Yeah,
is.
it's all characters.
Yeah.
Like, what is the most unique looking character and the most unique looking like human pose possible?
Yeah. Who do you guys pick for second though?
Violet.
Violet is so pretty.
Good.
I think
maybe Devilman.
I was gonna say okay, so Devilman or Gretzko just for originality.
Yes.
But then Agretzko's, that is a type of animation style we have seen before. And Devilman Crybaby is kind of like an animation we've seen before. It reminded me a lot of Fooly Cooley.
I can see that.
Yeah. So you know what? I guess I could.
Reverend.
Those are both really close to me. But I could probably Violet Evergarden just visually. Again, it's just like I haven't seen anything like Violet Evergarden. Like, you know what I mean? Like visually, that was like. Whoa.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, Devilman Crybaby and Agretzko were both really cool and fun, but I think I've kind of seen it before, so. Okay, best continuing series. The Ancient Magus Bride, Dragon Ball Super, Black Clover, March Comes In Like a Lion, One Piece, Boruto. Who wins?
Magus Bride?
Probably Dragon Ball Super.
Dragon Ball.
Was it?
Yeah, it was Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah, that
I
makes
mean,
sense.
legendary, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I
Yeah.
haven't actually seen Ancient Magus Bride, but I do hear
I
that it's
haven't
really
either.
good.
It's good.
Miranda loves
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
It does move slow initially, but it is good.
Okay.
Now the release schedule's interesting too, right? Isn't it like every 2 weeks? It's like an hour-long episode, something like that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I mean, it's finished now.
It's
but,
finished.
But yeah, when it was
Well,
coming
that's
out, it felt like, wait, is the season ending? Oh no.
Right.
Okay.
Oh no, we just gotta wait a little bit.
And also, they had like an OVA series too before it, so that made it weird too.
You know what we'll have to do is in episode 2 is where we each give each other an anime assignment.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
That'd be fun.
Homework.
Maybe we'll put that one on
Yeah,
there.
homework.
So, okay. Best director was Devilman Crybaby, A Place Further Than the Universe, Megalobox, Planet With, Violet Evergarden, and Banana Fish.
Oh, that's interesting.
Talking about weird names, Banana Fish.
That
Who can?
the show's supposed to be good though. I haven't watched
Yeah,
it.
I've
I've
heard
seen
it's
it.
supposed to be
That's
good,
another
too.
Prime Video.
Yeah.
Who do you guys think won?
Banana Fish.
Honestly, I have no insight into the directorial
Yeah.
process for an anime, so I've got no idea.
Devilman Crybaby won. And I don't really
Okay.
either, but I would
That makes
assume.
sense actually.
I don't really know what goes into the director process either, but
Yeah.
I think it has to relate with the overall execution of the anime.
Sure.
That's what I would judge it by.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So, I mean, Devilman Crybaby, animation-wise, story-wise,
it was
like,
consistent.
it was just, it just checked so many boxes for me.
It was-
Music-wise, with the rap
It
and
was
stuff like
great.
that,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
like, I really
Arguably
liked
my
it.
favorite scene in the whole
Yeah.
series.
No, so I can see that. What were you thinking? What were you
Like there was an
contemplating?
anime that came out like 2-3 years ago that was completely about the animation industry. I want to say it's Shirobako.
Really?
Oh, Miranda told me about this
It's
one.
Shirobako.
I'm sorry, I keep on saying Miranda, but she's literally like a legend.
Yeah, so
in the
Shirobako
anime world,
is a show about these girls who wanted to be in an animation industry.
but- Yeah.
And the girl gets a job, but you see the real life of an animator's job.
Yeah.
And they go into like every aspect of the field, like just like from the voice actors, from the drawers to the directors.
That's
producers,
awesome.
Yeah.
That's so meta. I love that.
We need to
Yeah.
watch
Yeah, that
that.
sounds
That
good.
might be our homework.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think of it like Bakuman, except for anime and no love story subplot.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Nominees for Best Film. It was Night is Short, Walk on Girl, My Hero Academia, Two Heroes, Mariah of the Future, Liz and the Bluebird, Mazinger Z Infinity, Fireworks, and the winner was My Hero Academia,
Yeah.
Two Heroes.
Interesting.
That's
Who were you gonna
Those
pick?
bones. That makes
not
sense.
that. I mean,
You?
Honestly, I haven't seen any of these.
I haven't
I'm very
either.
sorry to say
No,
that,
I'm
but
sorry
I
to
do
say that
hear
too.
Night is Short, Walk on Girl was fantastic.
We should make these movies our homework because those are so easy instead of
Yeah.
watching a whole anime.
And of
Yeah.
course, Mirai was nominated for Best Animated Picture
yeah.
at the Oscars.
I would've-
Oh wow, yeah, you're
first
right.
anime
Yeah.
movie I think I've ever seen. in the
Okay,
category.
so that's pretty
Yeah.
badass. But Two Heroes
It's a
though.
recent memory.
Yeah, that one That was a film.
Okay, so I hate most anime movies, to
Yeah.
be honest, especially when they come from like a series. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because they tend to be filler and are like of no consequence.
Sure.
And then Two Heroes comes down, they're like, "This is gonna be canon. It's gonna be a
Oh, it
part
is?
of it." Like, yeah, they
I
said
didn't-
that. Yeah. That's what Miranda told me. And
Mhm.
so, like, I was like, okay, interesting. Like, this is going to be a part of the storyline. You know what I mean? And it was still just like a filler
Yeah,
movie to me.
they just go
Yeah.
have an isolated adventure, come back.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so-
But apparently, like, it's a part of the story. But it was filler.
Yeah, it wasn't bad, but it just.
Sorry.
It just felt like, okay, I know this doesn't matter. Oh, this temporary power up. Oh, that seems really good. Why didn't you get that again after you left?
Yeah.
That-
Isn't that always how it goes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, who's this new love interest? Oh, she's not gonna matter anymore.
No, she's
I
not. She's
right.
very
What
interesting.
happened to the blonde girl? Right.
Yeah.
What was good about that movie was the beginning with All Might and seeing All
get a
Might
little
when
bit
he
of
was
backstory,
young.
right?
Yes,
Yeah,
that was
nice.
so that was super cool. Like that alone, I wish they would have delved into it a little bit
Mhm.
more. But that alone, I was like, if they did an All Might like
Standalone
background
type
story,
thing?
yeah, I would
Oh, yeah.
totally love
Oh,
that.
Prequel series.
Oh,
Yeah.
you'll see a lot of that in the manga.
Okay.
Ah,
okay. So we
nice.
got
Stuff
starting
to
in the
look forward
manga.
to.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so anime of the year. Do you guys know who they picked?
Anime of the year.
Do you know who they picked?
I think
Do
I
you know
saw
who
it.
it
I
is?
can't remember it off the top of my head.
Okay, I'll go through it, and then you guys can guess.
Oh,
A Place Further Than the Universe,
Give that
Devilman
to
Crybaby, Megalobox, Violet Evergarden, Hinamatsuri, Zombieland Saga. Who wins?
I want to say Devilman Crybaby.
Yeah, out of all those, I would go with Devilman.
Devilman Crybaby
I
won.
think it was probably my anime.
Devilman! Yeah, that was my
For
anime
sure.
of the year too. So I voted for IGN's like anime of the year with like a bunch of
Oh,
people
nice.
here, and Miranda and I got in a big debate
Big fight. She, of
over
course, was
Violet
Violet
Evergarden, and a couple other people sided with me. I think it came down to a very close
Mhm.
vote. I think like we won by one vote.
Really?
Yeah, like it wasn't like a unanimous
work, Jack.
decision.
Yeah,
I know.
hey.
Well, I was campaigning hard.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
Devilman Crybaby is better because
Yeah.
of this and this and this. But again, I might need to watch Violet Evergarden in its entirety. I have ADD really bad, so like, I couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
can see
I
that.
could not. Like, I was like, I don't know. I've heard such good things about it, so I really do think I need to revisit it. But it was like excruciating, and I was watching it with a friend. And I was like, is this excruciating or is this just me?
Yeah.
And he was like, this is
He's like,
really
"This is
bad.
stupid."
Yeah. And I was like, all right,
Sometimes.
you want to check out Devilman Crybaby?
I know. Well, honestly, like, for me, Devilman Crybaby was one that I recommended to my non-anime watchers.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Even to people, my friends that are like, Griffin and his anime, all the time,
Mhm.
never stop. And I was like, no, you gotta check this out. And they watched it and they binged the entire thing. 'cause
Oh,
it was
wow.
that good.
So
That's
what,
interesting to hear.
so what are your animes of the year from 2018?
Ooh. I mean,
Um,
My Hero Academia, right?
Loved it. Yeah, the whole thing.
Yeah. Attack on Titan season 3 wasn't bad.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I think that those were like the two that like I kind of tracked the most.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I was into.
Mhm.
So.
The third season of Food Wars was
Oh,
2018,
Food Wars,
right?
Food
Oh, yeah,
Wars,
that's
Food
the
Love
Wars.
that. I
Yeah.
just love Food Wars. I think it's so funny.
I hate and love Food Wars because
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm watching kids cook.
Yes.
Why is this so addictive?
Yeah.
And I'm an awful cook, but I like love watching it. And now you know why people like watching the food
Yeah,
channel.
like combines my love of Chopped with my love of anime, plus
Yeah.
just like ridiculous, like kind of ecchi scenes, then like
Yeah.
weird shonen type
Yeah.
stuff that
Yeah.
they throw in there. It's just like a big melting pot of all my favorite things.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I watched Food Wars for the first time. Like when I first started watching it, I was at the gym, and I had no idea that it was like so
Yeah.
sexual.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like on the treadmill, and then like stuff started happening
Right.
that
Yeah.
happens in Food Wars, and people
Yeah.
were like,
What is this?
oh, I just said the F word. I didn't say that, but people were like,
Are we not allowed to do that?
no, don't say that.
Oh, okay, nice.
It's an anime bang rule. No, I'm
Okay.
kidding. Like,
Yeah.
whatever. Say what you want, people. But I'm
Yeah.
like, it was embarrassing. I felt really. I was like, pause, pause,
Yeah.
pause,
No, I
and like
understand.
literally had two people walk away from me. And honestly, the first person walked away, and I was like, did I piss them off? Like, you know what I mean? Like they were like, because they like showed disdain. Like, you know what I mean? And I was like, what did I do? And then another person walked off, and I was like, okay, it's probably the show. But anyway, so yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even watch the first season when it first came out, just because
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to watch another ecchi show.
Yeah.
But then, like, people were still getting popular, decided, okay, I'll deal with the edgy stuff. Maybe it gets past it, and it did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it kind of went away in season 2 a little bit. Like they kind of toned it
I feel
down
like
quite
they
a
did
bit.
tone it down a little bit.
But then it came back in full swing in
Oh
season 3.
boy. I mean, yeah, that it's
Yeah.
weird, but for some reason it just makes it hilarious.
You guys haven't had a moment where you've taken a bite of really delicious food and all of a sudden your clothes are gone.
And you're in a
like
meadow.
A paradise world.
Yeah. I'm
some
like,
ratatouille shit.
no,
But,
it
yeah.
hasn't happened. Maybe I'm not eating the right food.
It
But I
doesn't-
mean, Food Wars makes me think there must be a level out there.
I just
so.
love the pun of food porn because it literally is food
Yes.
Hey,
It
they
is,
should
there
have
you
just
go.
called it that.
I know.
Missed
porn. Oh, they
opportunities.
definitely could.
Probably
call
would.
it.
Yeah, I was like, well,
Yes,
maybe,
insane,
yeah, maybe
Yeah.
not. That would be my favorites for 2018, though.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
So, yeah.
I-
Something along those
Like
lines.
my favorite show from last year was High Score Girl.
Yeah.
High Score
Oh,
Girl.
interesting.
No, people have been telling me to watch High Score Girl, so.
So if you played video games in the 90s, especially fighting games or arcade games, remember going to the arcades, you will have so much nostalgia for that show.
Aww.
And I'm a fighting games person. I'm part of FGC and all that crap.
Yeah.
That made like every single person who plays fighting games from that era like single tear shut it
Really?
down
Yeah.
watching that show. Like whoever wrote that
Nostalgia bomb.
knows like a nuance to a level where like, okay, you really were about this.
Where is
Wow,
High
that's
Score
interesting.
Girl now? Like, does it have a second
it's on
season or
Netflix,
what's
right?
going
It's
on?
on Netflix. There'll be a second season. Actually, funny enough, they sponsor or one of the sponsors for Evo, Japan, this past last month. But the show, like the manga, just ended like recently.
Oh,
But the anime is going to get a second season. It did pretty well on Netflix and
Yeah.
just in Japan too.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I know that's like one of the ones that IGN's like been keeping an eye on. They're
But that
like,
one came
okay.
out like on Netflix at like December 26th.
Yeah.
So that's why it was never in any of the like
Included
show of the
in
year
top
nominations
20.
because they're already done.
Yeah.
So we have like 5 minutes, y'all. So I'm like, if I can go off on another tangent, I just started watching Black Clover.
Mhm.
Oh,
Have you seen
okay.
it?
I watched like the first episode and was just like, it's okay, but I don't want to get hooked for another like infinite
Yes.
series.
How many episodes is it?
I
A
think they're up to
lot.
like 70 something now.
Yeah, we're way up there.
I'll be honest, like it's really fun.
It is fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm getting hooked.
Yeah.
So I'm like a little bit worried because I'm like, great, now I'm gonna binge all of this. You know
Well-
what I mean? Oh, sorry, I'm going off another tangent. Also started watching Ruby,
Sure.
Yeah.
which is okay. Animation's really tough, guys.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's because we
that-
watch,
No.
have grown up
All these
watching.
Violet
Yeah.
Evergarden's out here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's not like
But
a movie.
it's funny, and like I'm intrigued by the plot, but like the animation's really jarring. But I really like the story, so
Yeah, the animations look. That's the only reason I haven't watched that show because the animation looked like an Academy of Art College commercial from like the late 90s.
Yes.
It
That's what
looks-
the animation looks
it
like.
looks worse than Reboot.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember Reboot
Oh, yeah.
in the
I like
90s?
Reboot.
I love that show,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah.
But it looks worse than
Yeah,
Reboot.
Reboot
was
And I'm
not
like, how
good.
do you look worse than Reboot? And you came out.
So long ago.
Yeah.
But the animation does get way better, like I think around season 4.
Once they finally started
Oh, okay.
getting
Is it-
it,
Like once Twisted Teeth started making real money,
Yeah.
it got better.
Yeah.
But I think it's definitely a show worth watching. I don't know a single person who watches it who's like, I hate the show.
No, the acting is good, and it had a really good story. So like now I'm like, okay, what do I get into? Ruby or Black Clover?
Yeah.
Ruby or Black Clover? You tell me, people.
I'd say
Comment
Ruby.
below, Ruby
Yeah.
or Black Clover.
Or
But
Black
so I'll talk a little bit about what I like about each, and definitely chime in. So Black Clover is like a little Harry Potter-esque, which I'm not a Harry
Oh, that's
Potter fan,
interesting.
but like the different gangs, right, that they can join, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the
And
Magic
like
Knight Squad.
yeah, and it's got all this magic.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan by any means, like, but it for some reason I like this world, and it's like regal magic, and you each get a book, and like you become a part of a clan, and like, I don't know, did this thing rip off
Form
of
a
Harry
bond, A
Potter?
bond or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's the same as any other shonen anime, right? Like, you've got your protagonist who's unique in this world full of magic where everyone's
Yeah.
got a unique individual
Yeah.
ability that makes them strong or whatever. And
Yeah.
they need to rise
And
to
I
the
like
top
their
of that
friendship.
echelon.
Their
Isn't
friendship
that
is
nice?
super
Yeah,
cute.
their, like little rivalry.
Yeah, because
he's
one's
super
like
talented.
so perfect,
Yeah.
and then the other one is like
That's
such a
right.
misfit. Like, I don't know. It is playing into a lot of like similar anime tropes that we've seen, but like I'm intrigued by the world and I like the gangs. Like if there's one thing that anime like can do that'll get you hooked is make like really good characters that are really diverse. Like I think that's why we've all gone to Naruto and Bleach, right?
Yeah.
And so I can see them setting up that dynamic where they have these like really extreme characters. I'm like, okay, I like these characters a lot. Ruby is doing the same thing. It's like these warriors are called hunters or huntresses, and I'm not really quite sure at this point like what they're actually like, who the enemy is. I know there's some bad guy who looks like he's from Clockwork Orange or something.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, but then they have like one girl has like a scythe, one has like a fencing sword, one has like blades on the ends of his guns, and like they're all, it's just the seems impractical, right? Why but and then one has like punching, like blast, you know what I mean? Like it's so they're all, their weapons are
That's cool.
I'm loving like anything with like decent fighting and cool weapons.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So like I'm kind of on board. But yeah, so okay. People watching at home, tell me what to get into. Black Clover or Ruby. And do you have any homework assignments for us? Anything we should be watching? Like I feel like we kept on giving each other homework assignments through that whole thing.
There's a lot to watch. That's all there is.
There is.
Yeah, so
More every day,
that's
which is
episode
great.
2
Yeah.
of
Nice.
Anime Bang. We had one bang. That works, yay. Okay, but I thought that was awesome. Please like tell us if there's anything that you want us to talk about, anything that we can improve upon. We're working at the kinks right now, but having a lot of fun just talking about anime, because we typically have these conversations in the break room, and now we've decided to put a camera in front of us.
May as well,
so.
right?
Yay!
Yeah.
Okay, bye everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for watching.
Yay. That was good.
That was great.
I think we were around 40.